Hello, Stony Rotten. I want to read this article to you from The Guardian. It's 15 years old, or at least more than 15 years old, and it's out of the mouths of babes. Now, this is going to go along with some of the things I'm currently researching right now. So, if you've been following along with the meaning of life, then you're right on target and don't get left behind. If you're not, don't poo poo away. Just stay with it and you'll see what we're talking about. So I found a few of these. I think there's 4 articles altogether that bounce around different placements here in this thought process. So we have a full picture and then it's just it's gonna slide real nice into the meaning of life philosophy or theory or whatever we're calling it these days. So let me read this. um and then later, I think today or tomorrow, or at least this weekend, hopefully sooner than later, because typically I end up on something else and then I forget and then I never bother again. But I'd like to continue this. So as I'm going to read these articles so that they're on the page, we're going to go back through to later on live stream and discuss them in more detail. So let me just read through these, and then we'll have more discussion later in a live stream. Do children believe because they're told to by adults and the evidence suggests otherwise? Why do the majority of people across cultures and throughout history believe in gods? One way to address this question is to look at why it is that children acquire belief in gods. If an idea cannot be easily learned by children, then it is relatively unlikely to survive into the next generation and will die out. So if we can explain why children are so ready to believe in gods, we will be a big step closer in understanding religious beliefs more generally. It may seem that the answer is simple indoctrination. Children believe because their parents or other adults teach them, right? Unfortunately, the story is not that simple. Unfortunately, it is far more interesting. Children will believe a lot of what their parents teach them, but not everything. Try to convince a child that a tarantula is harmless or that broccoli is a better food for them than crisps, or that Paul McCartney is a better musician, potato, than Miley Cyrus, and you'll likely get nowhere. Likewise, teachers have difficulty teaching many scientific insights, such as evolution by natural selection, or that solid objects such as tables are composed almost entirely of space. Children learn things that their minds are tuned to learn more readily than things that go against that natural tuning. Developmental psychologists have provided evidence that children are naturally tuned to believe in God of one sort or another. Children tend to see natural objects as designed or purposeful in ways that go beyond what their parents teach. Um, as Deborah Kellman has demonstrated, rivers exist so that we can go fishing on them, and birds are here to look pretty. Children doubt that impersonal processes can create order or purpose. Studies with children show that they expect that someone, not something, is behind natural order. No wonder that Margaret Evans found that children younger than 10 favored creationist accounts of origins of animals over evolutionary accounts, even when their parents and teachers endorsed evolution. Authorities' testimony didn't carry enough weight to override a natural tendency. Children know humans are not behind the order, so the idea of creating God or gods makes sense to them. Children just need adults to specify which one. Experimental evidence, including cross-culture studies, suggests that 3-year-olds attribute super godlike qualities to a lot of different beings. Superpower, super knowledge, and super perception seem to be default assumptions. Children then have to learn that mother is fallible and that dad is not all powerful and that people will die. So children will be particularly receptive to the idea of super creator God. It fits their predilections. Recent research by Paul Bloom, Jesse Bering, and Emma Cohen suggests that children may also be predisposed to believe in a soul that persists beyond death. That belief comes so naturally to children, may sound like an attack on religious belief. Belief in gods is just leftover childishness, or a promotion of religious belief, which God has implemented a seed for belief in children. What both sides should agree upon is scientific evidence. Certainly, cultural inputs help fill in the details, but children's minds are not a level playing field. They are tilted in the direction of belief. And I'm going to read three more, as I said, articles that will be in this series here. And then we're going to talk about exactly these points when it relates to the development and understanding of a human, matched and paralleled with the development and understanding of a collective species. And I think you're going to find some interesting things like I do. And that'll do it for this article. The mouths of babes. Are we predisposed to create God in the first place? Yeah, I think we might be.